Hey, okay, that's better. There we go. I had to unplug and replug in my mic, apparently. So sorry about that. Hey, Stacking. How are you doing today? Also, to repeat what I said before, yes, we did. I did not load anything up in the terminal, so we don't have anything running on port 3000. So we're good to go. And audio should be working now. Also, good morning. How are you doing today? At the same time, it's interesting. Okay, RestreamBot is working. Okay, good. So I should see that over here. All right. Okay, so I think we're good to go. All right. So, course articles. We're going to look at what we're supposed to be working on. Oh, right, the mirror API. We're going to put that up today. So first of all, do we have this? No, we don't have the mirror API, so we need to write one. Okay, so let's see. Let's go find, I think we should just go straight to there, and we can find the mirror API. Dottie, good morning. Well, I guess good afternoon to you. How are you doing today? Good here. Awesome. That's good to see. We're doing. I just woke up this morning, so I'm good there. I shared out the link to the course on X Twitter last night, and tagged This Week in Rust. So we'll see. Hopefully, it gets added into either this week's or next week's This Week in Rust, and we'll see if that raises awareness of it. It did in the past for the YouTube courses, so I'm hoping that we get the same here. And then in the meantime, we are working on this. I would hope you woke up where I would be concerned who's talking right now. I mean, I haven't figured out a way to replace myself with an LLM yet, but that's not like, beyond a reasonable expectation, right? Okay, so assessment. Okay, so what's this? This is this assessment. Your ability to. Is my name really Bernie? I mean, how did you know? It starts with B. This is assessing your ability to take in. Oh yeah, so it's going to be receive JSON query parameters and JSON query parameters I guess like retrieve data, so receive data, and mirror them out. Talking of LLMs, have you seen Ollama.ai? It's basically Docker for LLMs, making it really easy to use. Could perhaps make a good Axum integration. Yeah, so I have played around with Ollama a little bit. It's really cool. I actually have it installed. So this little icon right there, that's Ollama, and all it really. Okay, give me a second. All it really needs is us to run stuff. So if I put in, what should we rename this tab? Ollama.ai. So I can do Ollama list, and it shows me, okay, I don't have any sort of like AI things here. Jose, bom dia. How are you doing today? So I can do Ollama pull. So there's Code Llama, and then there's Find Code Llama, which uses the Find AI, like the website AIs. They created their own model, which they claim is better than ChatGPT 4. I mean, it's an article that they wrote themselves. So, and it's not like a white paper article. It's just a blog post article. So it's a little bit hard to tell for sure, but it is nice. So I could do, let's see, was it Find Code Llama? Pretty sure that's what it is. This will take a while. We'll come back to it. And you can find the models at Ollama.ai under models. And so the one I found was this Find. That one. Rip RAM, yeah. It's not great. It's this is also a 34B. So I need 32 gigabytes of memory. And this is one of the reasons why I like to do streaming on a different computer than what I do out here on, because yeah, this uses a lot of memory. Okay, so rubric. Oh no, skills. And Apple has made M3 ship with 8 gigabytes of RAM again. What? That's so small. I always max out the memory whenever I can, because you want these devices to last as long as possible, and everyone has switched over to soldering them to the motherboard. So there's not really like a choice anymore. It's like just max out, otherwise your device has a very short shelf life. Yeah, I was hidden in a keynote until they released the other day, and everyone went crazy. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. I wonder. Well, I'm not going to try to guess. It's like, okay, Apple, I'll feel when I need a new computer / can afford it, I will do my normal due diligence of researching again. And hopefully they have like the full amount of memory. Okay, so skills. This doesn't attach your ability to, okay, so this is going to be sort of like retrieving. So receiving extracting data. So extracting JSON, extracting query parameters, extracting path parameters, responding with JSON, and I think that's it. Oh, and they're having yield problems. They desoldered a core on the base model. Okay, that's a choice. TSMC is having serious issues with 3 nanometers, but Apple had already purchased. They told TSMC to ship them anyway. Oh no, that is a choice. That Apple has usually gone towards the sort of like the Sigma 6 style of lean, which is if it's not perfect, don't ship it. That being said, there are plenty of issues in the past where they have shipped broken things, even under jobs, and then just pretended that it was perfect the entire time. And then they just as quickly as possible switch out. So like this could be one of those, like it's a playbook they're following. I think they were so set on having a keynote for just announcing 3 nanometers. Quite possibly. Quite possibly. And also showing off those the cameras. Like, because they said they did the camera thing with the phones, but actually showing off that them using it is also a reason, probably. Let's see. Okay, to pass the assessment, you'll need to do the following. So, okay, so what are the things that we need to do for this? Oh, I already even have skills here. Okay, we'll just steal these. That kind of works, but also not really. Okay. Rubric items. Do I have rubric items in here? Not really. I guess you know what? These are the rubric items. So Kukma, hello. How are you doing today? What's next? 0.5 nanometers? Like I remember it wasn't that long ago they kept on saying that they couldn't do any more because they're running into physics problems, like actual just like physics and like electrical stuff was like jumping the wires and they couldn't get any smaller. Now I'm not sure that it's worth trying to get smaller. That I personally I think that there's going to be more gains in like things around that, right? Like, okay, we have them pretty small. Maybe there's like some big jump we can do elsewhere. 3 nanometers is crazier. Intel still hadn't even gotten past 14. Of course, it's true. I was reading the white papers from Intel, and it's quite possible that Intel just was saying that to try to defend why they haven't gotten past 14 nanometers. I wouldn't put it past them. So maybe everything I know is wrong. Okay, so all the coding you need to update is in the mirror route handler file. Okay, so grading rubric. So what do we do here? To pass this assessment, you'll need the following. These. you'll need following in the mirror route handler file. Currently, the route isn't extracting any data from the request, and it isn't returning anything. Update the handler so that it does that. Okay, and then... All right, so there we go. We have you. So I think we're good with this. All right, so let's create an article for you. This is going to be Axum Mirror API assessment. That was a password, which I now need to emergency reset. Which browser do I want to use? That browser. Where's my thing? Coffee drinker, hello. How are you doing today? Oh, apparently I don't have a link to that here. Well, we can fix that. Login as you and you. User management, users, and nope. Cancel. I want done. Okay. I am good. Now let me copy this again so I don't immediately show off that password again, because that would be the fastest emergency password reset we'd have to do. Let's see. Hack the planet. Well, hopefully I'm not as hackable as I was for about a minute. Uncle Scientist, hello. How are you doing today? How's your stream? How was your stream? I saw the notification asking if we wanted to help you with 2018 Advent of Code problems. How was that going? Nope, not that one. I want this one. And did I not order these properly? Did I not save? This seems wrong. This order seems wrong. Good stream. Need more help though. I am terrible at those type of challenges, which all that really means is that I should practice them more. Because like in the end, that's all it really is practice, right? Practice and like changing our mind to like thinking in those type of puzzles. And I usually enjoy them. I'm just terrible at it. So maybe someday we'll like if I have time, we'll do some fun Advent of Code or some of the other challenges, or some of the games, because there's games with code that are fun too. Okay, so if I come back to here, are you in? Yep. Okay. So that's fun. I'm curious, did I screw everything up when I undid my Hasura thing? Hold on. Okay, so if I want to take a look. So query get course articles. Okay, course articles where the course ID is equal to 3 in this case. And I want to see, okay, let's do article. We could do article ID and title. And then the course ID and title. And then I also want to see preview. And then isn't there an order? Yeah, order by. I want to see all those things. So if I run that. Okay, yeah, so order by 4, order by 5. And then if I run order by, so order by, isn't there like descending? Yeah, descending. That's wrong. Ascending. Oh, that's correct. Okay, so this is incorrect. So I'm getting order by 0 here. Okay, so the order is correct in the database. The order is correct in the database, but this is incorrect here. Oh. Ugh. Hold on. Why is that? That's not good. So let's see. It's fun to do. We have a small competition at work, which makes it exciting to be the fastest. I am always not the fastest, so I end up just not even like trying to be competitive because it's not that good for me. But it's fun to see everybody else like go for it. Yashar Dev, hello, how are you doing today? Hi everybody, how are you guys doing? We're doing good. We're working on adding this course in, and I'm just finding a bug here, which is not fun. I thought we had something to put this in the correct order, and it seems that that's not true. Crossbow, hello. How are you doing today? Many people do Advent of Code in different languages than their main language or explore a new language. And I think that's when I would almost prefer the leaderboard to not be time-based because like then it, or maybe if you create your own leaderboard, maybe you can like set what the what the parameters are. Maybe it's not a leaderboard. Maybe it's just a have completed, have not completed. So, the leaderboard is how far you've gotten. And like, therefore everyone's tied if you get all of them done. Maybe something like that. Coffee don't code as your day job, so you're just happy to maintain the languages you already know, which is like that's a good way. That's a good and fun way to maintain those. Yeah, Uncle, you ignore the daily leaderboard. Finishing quickly is not your goal with it. Yeah, that's the same with me. Like the few times that I've sort of gone for it. Oh, you can order it per number of stars. Okay, that's what I would prefer if it was like the default. Batman, hello. How are you doing today? Okay, so, and also Tea Kettle Drone, hello. How are you doing today? Do you think COBOL and other code bases will ever be migrated to another language? When you say migrated, if it's replaced with something that's just rebuilt like for the new use case or whatever, does that count? There's no business value in replacing COBOL. Like those systems, as long as there's hardware to run them, they're going to be happy to stay on it. And the amount of money that it costs to complete, like to migrate, would probably be just saved in just rewriting from scratch and redesigning from scratch and doing everything else there first. So my answer is probably no, with a caveat that eventually a new system will exist and that will be more modern languages. But I'm not sure that would be a new thing. Yeah, I know. I figured like the banks, like the bank code. There's other sort of like there's a variety of things and institutions and other codes that were written way back in the old days, and those are still running, and they'll probably just exist forever. Damn, okay, so is learning COBOL a good money move? So I mean, it's an economics problem. So you're gonna hear that like people who know COBOL really well and can get those jobs are making a lot of money, but the opportunities to learn COBOL is not very high. Now, some of those companies, some of the banks, some of the institutions that have COBOL running, they actually maintain sort of like internal code schools to teach new developers COBOL so they can hire them. So they like there is a possibility of like being able to learn that. That being said, if your only goal is money, they don't need that many developers, right? So like there's going to be an economics of it's an economics puzzle problem now. So how many developers want to learn that? How much effort do you need to spend to like get good enough to like actually provide value to them? And how much time is that going to take you? And how much money is it you're going to have to spend to get to that point too? It's going to be rough. It's going to be really rough. And then on top of that, you're going to be with COBOL, which back in the day, yeah, COBOL was the best thing, right? Like there's a reason why everybody switched to COBOL working on those systems other than like an assembly. But nowadays we have languages that are much nicer to work on. And therefore, if you're learning like these new languages and then you have to go in and learn, like work on these old languages and the old systems, it's going to be tough. Don't do it for the money. You need to enjoy coding COBOL as well, or you're going to hate every day on the job. Exactly. That's a really good point. Money is a factor. I like coding, language, etc., intellectually and recreationally, but I'm still having a hard time what to do as far as monetizing skills. So the best way to monetize anything is to come at it from the other direction, right? There's a have you ever read How to Win Friends and Influence People? It's a very old book. It's been like rewritten multiple times, but it's really good for sort of like understanding how we work and how we can like basically make money from each other. And one of the theses of the book is that to basically have people like you, never come at it from what you want. So like you want money, right? So if you go to somebody and say, I want money, therefore give me a job and I will, and then I will provide you value, that's never going to work because you're leading with what you want. And that's not what they want to hear. They want to hear that how you're going to solve a problem they have. So figure out what you like to do and align that with a company, and then tell them, oh, you really like X. I can do X for you, and then help you make more money. And then in turn, they give you money for that. Oh no, of course I'm not approaching actual interaction. Oh, okay, good. I've actually met people that like go into interviews and like their answer for things like, why do you want to work here, are, I want money. And then it's like, oh, ha ha ha, okay, but what's the real reason? And it's like, no, really, I just want money. I was like, okay, you're a mercenary. You don't actually care. And you're, yeah. So I would like, if you really want to like investigate COBOL, try it out. There's actually some courses on like Udemy and YouTube on like how to use COBOL. And I think that there's even Docker containers that have like COBOL set up in it. So you can play around with it and then sort of like see what, if you like it. And then go from there. All right. This is, I could swear that this was working yesterday, and it's not working right now. And now this is not showing the correct order, which makes me, okay, what's automatically restart your code? What is that in my database? Am I running into the classic ordering problem? So, okay, so Axum 016 beta live trailer. So Axum is okay, so that has a order by 0. That's way down here. There's, okay, that doesn't make any sense. Cool. Okay, well, I guess I will not worry about ordering them right this second, and we'll continue uploading, and then I'll add this in as a bug that I need to fix, which is fix ability to set order of courses in order of articles. That goes top priority. Cool. Fun. The thought of pausing on Rust and Haskell kind of sucks though, but I think I'd have a hard time actually getting a job with those languages. Yeah, it can be pretty tough with Rust and Haskell right now. Is it a front end bug? How are they stored in the front end? So they're stored in a vector. We can go through. They are stored in a vector, and where is that? That's going to be probably the main store here. Right. So I store them as part of. Well, so, okay, I have articles as a hash map, but then, so like all the articles are in here. And then also I have articles for a course in here in a hash map of course. So if we go to course here, a course has articles, which is a vec of article. And when I load the courses, which doesn't happen somewhere. Do I have an API? Do have an API. Somewhere I load the courses. Get all the data. Okay, get all data. Okay, so get all data. I get all that all. Preview articles by course. Okay, so we do that. So okay, this is like so looping through the courses. Am I not caring about the order right now? Maybe I'm not. Maybe that's my problem. Maybe I'm not actually doing that. I'm just pushing them into the list. Hold on, I might be able to. Where's my query? So we've get all courses. I think this was get all data, right? So those are all mutations. This is the only one that gets everything. So we get everything when you first load into it. So I get almost courses, course articles, users, and articles. And so the course articles, and then I get all this. And I bet I could do something here where it's like order by ascending, something like that. I bet I can get away with that. This might be, I'm not sure. I'd need to test this. To make sure it's working the way I expect it to. But this makes sense to me of like what's going on with it. So I think it is a front end bug because I have an order by field on them, which I am not getting, but I can still order by the order by field, I believe, in there. What? No, come on. And then the other. When I insert course articles, nope. Do I set the order by? Insert almost course articles. So I delete them all. So in one transaction, I delete the current ones, and then I just put in course articles like this. Okay, so that's just variables coming in. So I need to actually find the API for articles. Nope. I have an empty file in there. That's not great. Set course articles. Yeah, so I set the order by based upon the index of it in the array. So I'm setting in the database, whenever I hit save, I'm setting the order that I want it to be. But I've never in the front end gone back and said, hey, you should probably like when I do the query, you should get them in that same order that the order by indicates for them. And I bet that would actually just work because they come back as a vector. And then I'm just looping through them and pushing them in. And so if I update my query, so I probably don't need to code like a code change. I probably can do it with a query change and just say, hey, order by. But I have that in my to-do list over there, so I know what that is, and I'll work on that later. So now instead, what I got to do is just say, okay, you get to be down here at the bottom. That's fine. Cool. Fun. All right, so that adds you, and then I should be able to see that in here. Okay, that's good. All right, so that's done. I bet you finished pulling. So there we go. So you're finished probably a while ago. So the way this works, we can do Ollama, and as sort of mentioned, it is very similar to Docker. We can do Ollama run and then find code llama. I can even create my own sort of like personality on top of this if I wanted to. Otherwise, I'm just in here and I can now use it as essentially the find version of their LLM locally without internet. Now theirs is going to be a little bit different because they actually do a search on, I think, Bing, and then they scrape the page, hand it, it's called embed it into the LLM, and they do that for like 4 or 5 different searches for every query you do. So that way they also get internet stuff. And I believe that this is capped to December 31st, 2022. Yeah, right before this year. So it's not super recent stuff, but it should be good for like a lot of things. This is not really going to help us with like Axum. It might be kind of almost okay with Rust, but it should be good with pretty much everything else. Programming Mix, hello. How are you doing today? Program Mix, you were having trouble with the environment variables, right? That's recent enough for me for Rust basics. Yeah. So like, what's a question we can do for Rust? And I'll throw it in here. I've still been sort of like playing around with it to sort of like see what I like, how it works. It's decently fast. It's surprisingly fast, actually. Custom responses. Okay. Good. You're doing all right. Glad to see me. Well, thank you. I'm glad to have you here. BizBuzz. Okay. I am trying to learn Rust. Please help me create a FizzBuzz example. Yeah, let's see what it does with that. Obviously, in the terminal, we don't get any code highlighting, and we don't get a little nifty button to auto click and have it run out. But okay, so I mean, from a very basic look, that looks correct to me. But the problem with most LLMs, especially when doing like for something like this, it's going to be good at, right? Because there's like a million blog posts out there, like literally showing you how to do FizzBuzz and other like basic things in Rust. And think of the LLM as something that takes in what inputs it's been given, and it can just sort of regurgitate that out as sort of like a summarization. Can you pipe the answer to bat or some other highlighter? I bet I could. You wasn't sure, but you thought you'd seen a front end for Ollama. There probably is. I didn't see one on Ollama itself. They have like links to other sort of like third-party projects, so that could work. All right, so here's what I could do. I could run this, put the query in. So put this in there, and then also only what would this be? Oh, this needs to be quoted. So only only write the code and leave out any explanation. And add in, and you can have explanations in comments. Okay, and then I'm going to take that and pipe it to bat. Oh yeah, they do. Also I can run Ollama serve, and then I can hit it with a okay, well that it tried. If I run Ollama serve, it runs a like a sort of a CRUD server, and I can hit it with a post request and send it a query that way, and it'll respond with the response. So I can basically create and then self-host my own LLM in the cloud, and then write like some kind of front end for that. So someday we could integrate this into the our LMS if we think that it's, you know, good enough for it. Or we can even create like a Discord bot or something else. Armadillo Rancher, hello. Interesting, it chose a different solution this time. Yeah, exactly. Think of the LLMs as someone who doesn't understand anything that they're doing, but they're very, like, they have knowledge of everything. I wouldn't think a front end like that would be super useful. Probably more useful to write scripts than integrate it. Yeah, I mean, like, the front end might be good for like auto copy and paste. Like if you want to like just copy and paste this directly and throw this into your code, that's like the main usefulness for the front end for it. That being said, like the problem with front ends is that they are not, they pretend to be really confident with their answers, but they don't understand a single word of any of this. They just act like they do. And we humans are very good at anthropomorphizing everything. So we think that this is like the same quality as someone who knows what they're doing writing a blog post. And we're like, well, they wrote this here, it must work, right? And then if you as a learner, if you don't know enough of Rust to know whether or not this works or not, if you throw this into a program and it doesn't work, is it because this sucks or because you did it wrong? There's no way for you to know. Yeah, it does seem to put these in here, so that seems to help out a lot. Sourcegraph Cody looks interesting because it takes into account your project to help improve its confidence. Still not sure I trust it though, and I think that's the thing is, it's this is one of the reasons why I believe that these LLMs are really good. Like this is super powerful if you know what you're doing, which means that it's better as an assistant than it is as like a teacher or as a replacer of people. So what I could do here, we're in this assessment. No, this assessment won't work. Let's let me see if I can do this. I did this once before. It was really cool. If we go, where's my actual, I want to find dot GraphQL. Where are those? Oh. Oh, it's in queries. It's in, oh, database queries. Okay, that's why I couldn't find it. Okay, so let's take a look at this. So if I do Patatas, hello, how are you doing today? This is why streamers have done LLM challenges. Most of them said you need to have a basic understanding of the language to understand the output. Yes, and it's why I believe that everybody who doesn't understand education or doesn't know the thing is like claiming, oh, this is going to replace X. It's not going to replace anybody, but it is going to make one person more faster, better, more better, something. It's going to make you better in some way. I'm sure an LLM could help me reword that. Your editor Helix is not picking up Rust Analyzer and you're very sad. That happened to us for a long time. And we had to set the location of Rust Analyzer properly. Basically, treat it as another Clippy. Treat it as a Clippy treat it as a untrustworthy Clippy. That's the thing, is a Clippy we can trust like 100%. With this, it claims it knows exactly what it's doing, and that's not a great thing. Okay, so here's what I want to do. I want to do Ollama. Find this. Okay, so let's replace all of this. Probably should have just gone 2 up. And I'm gonna say, okay, I have a GraphQL query here, and need to update it so that the course articles are in order. I have an order by field on course article. On course article, please help me rewrite this to order them. So then I do that, then space, and then I want another one. We're going to cat the API get all courses GraphQL, and then throw that in there and see what it does. You have to use VS Codium now. Can you do that? I have Rust Analyzer installed the Scoop, so it'd be great to fix the location I have there. Yeah, so here, now I've not used it with Windows, so maybe it's like a different thing. But if you take a look at my Helix config here, Patatas, that might help, but it is on a Mac here. So that may not be what we expect. Well, it tried. So I handed it in the file. To order the course articles by a specific field, you should add the order by clause inside the course article selection. I'll assume that order by is a valid field of course article. Okay, it is. So order by field. Just replace the order by field with your desired field. For example, if you want to order the course articles by the created at field in the ascending order, it would look like this. So order by created at ascending. That's actually not, well, actually that would work, but I don't want to do that. I want to order it by a number. But I could probably, like, because it has this in context, actually no, when I do it this method, I don't have it in context. I have to like keep on handing it stuff for it to work. If I do the interactive mode, I have the context inside of there. So this is all like basically it's a super interesting thing, and I'm trying to figure out good like patterns that I could eventually do to build something around this that would give me the powers of something like find fully, but like a little bit more customized, and then I get to keep the data and I don't have to like hand everything over to like an AI, because then I could help companies set that up and say, hey, do you want something as powerful as ChatGPT, but not hand them all your proprietary data? And it's self-hosted, meaning that you can also have it be SOC 2 certified, because that's going to be huge for a lot of companies. So yeah, anyways, fun, cool stuff. Yeah, if any of you have any questions to throw at it, I will be happy to throw that in there. I am not trustworthy of enough to like make it auto run based upon chat though, simply because I've seen some injection attacks or prompt attacks that change the personality of it, and then it can get it to sort of do bad things, and I'm a little bit too concerned about that. But I'm happy to play around with it. Okay, custom responses. We have this up next. Which we don't have. Okay, so for this, custom responses, what are we, in this assessment, you'll be creating custom responses for route handlers. These responses will all have a status code and a message. This is important in web development because when things go wrong, okay, so basically custom, so this assessment is for checking your understanding of Axum responses and how to create a custom one, instead of just using 200 or 500. Skills. Okay, so respond with standard status codes. Okay, so respond with standard status codes. Respond with custom status codes. Respond with text. Text. Respond with JSON. Okay, to pass this assessment, update the 3 route handlers. So we want this. You will need to update the 3 route handlers. One requires a standard status code with a message, and the others require a non-standard status code with text and JSON. So this will be if we go and we actually take a look at this, the only thing we need to work on here, I believe, is in, oh, we have these files. So route handlers, route handler responds with standard status code. Route handler responds with custom error status code. Route handler responds with custom success status code. Oh, you know what I could probably do is just mention what files need to be done, which I think, if I remember correctly, only is going to be in the router here. So we don't need to touch you at all. So non-standard error with RS. Okay, so this file. That's not what I want. Okay, so you are changing route to return a custom error status code at 588. Okay, so update route file, so non-standard error with JSON. So let's do copy you. Why do you come in with, oh, yeah, that's fine. Update that to return, or maybe like complete. Zilby came in, ate the food that I put in here to attract him in here, and then just immediately left. Didn't decide to come up and jump up. Didn't decide to say hi. He doesn't care about us. So update the following route handler. Or maybe it's like update the following route handlers. Then I could do something like this. I like this a little bit more. Okay, so let's do let's change the order of these. Let's put you there, you there. Okay, so that way it's easier to harder. And then we can run the tests and do all that stuff. Okay, so we're good to go. All right, so this is Axum custom response assessment. Okay, and there we go. That looks all correct. All right. Next up from this, I suppose I can play around with the order that I care about here, so that will make it a little bit easier for me to sort of see. Let's like move them around. So I'm gonna have trailer at the beginning. Yeah, sure. Why not? Prerequisites. Set VS Code. That. Actually, let's do this here. Then we can do logging with tracing. Oh, cargo watch. We probably want something like that. Working with JSON is just general working with JSON. Sample work. That. A workspace. Oh, this was an assessment. So I could do this, something like that. All right, so once we do, oh, I probably want log hello world first. And we'll put in hello world like this. Then logging. Handle JSON. Do, oh, no, I want to follow this pattern. Okay, so then also path variables, query variables. Now we can do mirror API, custom success, custom error, and then our custom responses. Okay, cool. Passing state into route handlers. So we have Axum state here. So passing state into route handlers, was there anything else with state? Two found. No. Okay, so just this one. This is that article then. Okay, so here's Axum state. I want you go into there. Okay. Here's the embed code. Then I want you to, I'm gonna add you in. Okay, so Axum, we'll probably just do Axum state as the name of it, because I think that just makes sense here. And really, I should probably title this, just to set expectations, Axum server state, because it is state for a server, not Axum state for the requests, because I think that's a common misunderstanding that I see a lot in Discord and a lot of sort of discussions about Axum state. They're trying to use it for like individual requests, which only makes sense if you're ever only having one client. Okay, and here we go. Oh shoot, I put the video, I didn't even pay attention. Okay, now I need to fix that. All right, so this starts with state and Axum. All right, now you show up in there. I don't have a GUI for editing once I've added them in. That's a list on my to do. So eventually I'll get there. But okay, so here we go. We have all this. We're good. So now you come down here. All right, extensions in Axum. Ooh, I don't think we've written anything for that. Okay, so now we're on to lessons where we need to actually write some lessons in here. Okay, so this is gonna be Axum Extensions. Extensions allow us to do what? Extensions allow us to create to share data, to share things. I don't want to use the word state. To share data between. This is potentially where something like the AI could be helpful. And I could ask it like, okay, how would you describe? Does it know what these are at all? Okay, this is completely wrong. Extensions refer to the additional functionalities or features that can be added to the core framework to enhance its capabilities. That's, I mean, okay if you really squint, but like an extensions are a very specific thing. We've added Tracelate to provide logging for, okay, no. This is the problem with like using language then. It's like, okay, now to get this correct, I would have to write it in the right way to get it to answer in the right way, which is like, okay, well, that defeats the purpose of me asking, like, okay, well, how would I describe this? Because now I have to come up with a way to describe it myself just to get it to describe it in a way that works. Extensions allow to share data between routes in route handlers, or I guess between route handlers. It is similar to state. It is similar to state. We'll just leave it at that. Okay, so I'll throw the video in there. I should add like a video section here. So we have the video, and then we can have also like maybe code. So you can find the code for this lesson at okay, so let's put that in there. And then I could do the video. So I've gone back and forth in this. I wonder if I should just do the video lesson first, then write this later. That might make sense. We could do the objectives first at the very least. Okay, so by the end of this lesson, you will be able to describe what extensions are. Describe when to use an Axum extension. And then finally, use an extension to share data with, okay, we want to use it to share data with route handlers. Use an extension. I guess retrieve. So retrieve data from an extension in a route handler. Okay. So given that, what do we want to do? We could, you know what we can maybe do is do like one practice round and then go through and do it again, and then we'll just sort of copy everything into here and sort of figure it out. That'll be a different way, and maybe that's even better. So let's do like our lesson at a time. So let's change this. This is going to be Axum Extensions. Okay, let's make sure we're update. We're running on the latest. And let's see. Let's do we can, okay, so cargo new Axum Extensions lesson. I guess we'll just do Axum Extensions. That'll be fine. I want to cargo watch X. Is it X or is it? No, I think it's X. And then this will be run. Nope, I need to cd into Axum Extensions and then do that. Okay, so we just got our hello world in there, and that's fine. So starting with that, then what do I want to do for this? I want to I guess I want to start with like a hello world template type thing. So let's go ahead and get everything installed. It's been a while since we've run, because we took such a large break with SQLX. So this will be interesting to see if I've memorized this. So we'll do some cargo ads. So cargo ad Tokyo, cargo ad. We have Axum. Cargo ad. Let's do error too. What else do I need for this? Oh, I probably want to have my logs. So we'll do tracing. Subscriber. Tower HTTP trace. Okay, so I think that's everything we need here. And my timer just ran, so I think this is going to be where we're starting off this afternoon. We'll be doing this to create the Axum Extensions lesson. Okay, so I'll just start here, and that's where we'll be going. Patatas, not long ago, you completed a tracing workshop and you learned a lot about how tracing works and how to use it. Nice. I haven't looked into super deeply of how it works. I watched one of the, I watched the Axum video by John Hu, and he went through a little bit of tracing of like behind the scenes of what it's doing. I've used it like mostly as a glorified logger, but not like, there's so many more things that tracing can do. It's a fairly interesting library to use, and I'm liking it more and more the more I use it, because I like the idea of being able to leave logs in your system and just choose if they're going to print out or not. Which, talking about that, I would need to, because you always forget this every single time. I want to we need to do a exports Rust log debug. Otherwise, those tracing logs, when we eventually set them up, won't display at all. And that I think that's something that really hits you at the beginning. It's like, oh, why aren't those logs running? It must have been something I'm doing. Let me rip out everything and try it again. And then it still doesn't work. Registry layers and spans are what I believe are fundamentals of tracing. Yeah, and I don't do any of those. I don't, like, you could do cool stuff with it. I've seen people do some really cool stuff with it. I have just not done it myself. I use it as a very basic logging system, which is also good at. And then tracing subscriber to sort of like just print that out. I think that eventually we can do a centralized logging system using tracing, and then throw that, like have it send HTTP requests to a centralized logging server, which is like very common in more professional applications. Okay, so that will get us our logs later today. I'm going to leave this exactly as it is, so that way I just know exactly where to go, and we're starting with this. Yep, the workshop did all that. Oh, nice. That's great. That sounds like a really good workshop. Okay, so we got all this stuff. We have around 10 viewers, so we don't need to do a raid today. So with that, I think we're going to go ahead and call it a day. I am going to be back this afternoon around, let's see what, today is Tuesday. So I'll be back at 2:30 p.m. Mountain time. It's Mountain Standard Time now. So we're off by an hour this week, or starting last Sunday. And then we'll go for about 2 hours. And then we'll work on this extensions lesson. And then I'm actually creating these and putting these up on GitHub now. I think that the cargo temp was interesting, but there's value in having the lesson code sort of like live forever. So I'm doing that. You're all in for calling it a day, but it's a little bit late in the day to call it a day. I mean, I'd say good morning to everybody, regardless where you were in the world. So it can be the end of my day and then also the beginning of my day at the same time. I think that's how it works. Yeah, I need to go off to my day job, so I need to go work on that. So anyways, everybody have a great rest of your day, even if it's not the end of your day. And I will see you all next time. Bye.